Welcome back to this edition of Grizzlies Daily. I'm your host, Malik. We are officially done with day one of free agency, and I got to say, as a Grizzlies fan, this is probably the most active the Grizzlies have ever been in free agency, and I couldn't be more excited. I mean, honestly, it felt kind of weird seeing the first few notifications of free agency be about the Grizzlies. So that's a good sign saying that, hey, the front office is getting their main priorities done, and they got one of them done really quickly with Jaren Jackson Jr. re-signing with the Grizzlies on a contract extension of 5 years, $240 million. Honestly, we kind of expected that deal to happen, so it does not surprise me one bit that we got it to happen. Um, yeah, I mean the 240 million, we kind of knew that was going to happen. It could have been more, obviously, if Jaren made the All NBA team, but I think if the Grizzlies, you're okay with that contract. I mean, we're talking about a guy who, as me, like, look, numbers aside, facts is facts. This man was almost All NBA. He's a two-time All Star. He was a DPOY candidate. No matter how you like it, Jaren Jackson Jr. is worthy of getting the money. He's worth it. I mean, like I said, your favorite team probably wants Jaren Jackson Jr. That's just the reality it is. I don't know why Grizzlies fans don't like him. Obviously, there are things that he can improve, but let's just be honest. Let's be happy with what we got. So, Jaren Jackson Jr. here, 5 years, 5 more years, $240 million, and also it's been reported that Jaren Jackson Jr. will change his number from 13 to 8. So if you have a Jaren Jackson Jr. jersey, be prepared to buy a new one and have a collector's item at the same time. So there you go. Um, Also, something to note in the Jaren Jackson Jr. extension, the Grizzlies and the agents of Cole Anthony are talking about a way for essentially Cole Anthony to be moved to somewhere else. Reason being, Cole Anthony needs to move so that money can be given to Jaren Jackson Jr. for the extension, which is something that is expected. We kind of knew someone had to go, and I kind of figured Cole Anthony would be the one because let's see, you got new guards coming in, um, and overall, it's just hard to give Cole Anthony a spot, and that's just something that it's a hard reality to face. I like Cole Anthony as a player, but if he has to get moved, he just has to. It's part of the business at the end of the day. So the Grizzlies actually did make a new signing, bringing a player coming onto the team. His name is Ty Jerome, six man of the year candidate from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Had a very good year, and I vividly remember him torching the Cavs off. I mean, not the Cavs, torching the Grizzlies off the bench one time. That was fun. But the Grizzlies actually got Ty Jerome for a steal. I did not expect this deal to no, we knew that Taj Jerome was more likely coming to Memphis. Just did not expect the contract that we got for. So if you don't know, Taj Jerome signed for 3 years, $28 million. That's a little under $10 million a year, which is highly surprising considering a guy who is capable of making starter money. He's capable of making money that a starter would make. But I think the fact that you bring him in for that kind of deal and you didn't have that much room to work with, that just goes to show Ty Jerome either the market for him was not what we expected or he just really wanted to come to Memphis because I'm being honest when I say this. I don't know how they agreed to that deal. Ty Jerome is worth way more money. So shout out to Zach Kleiman and company for getting him for an absolute steal because I was heavily caught off guard by that. Like I saw that and I'm like, wow, that's kind of wild. So shout out to Ty Jerome. I know I talked about his I know I talked about his fit on the team, but there's no doubt in my mind that he could definitely probably be a starter or come off the bench. Regardless, I think he'll be in that two spot, which isn't the worst thing. I mean, at the end of the day, you can always interchange lineups. Maybe you know Ty Jerome at the one, Ja at the two, or Ty Jerome at the one and Scottie Pippen Jr. at the two. One of them is going to work. So I think it adds a lot more flexibility and playmaking that the Grizzlies need. Hopefully, it translates onto the court and they're actually able to hold onto the ball a little more because obviously, as you know, turnovers last year was a major problem for the Grizzlies. So good to see that. Good to see that they're doing the necessary things that it takes to get playmaking on the team because that was a major issue last year. So Ty Jerome on the Grizzlies. I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. Can't wait to see him hoop, man. I really can't wait to see it. The
So
Grizzlies did make some more re-signings. One being Santi Aldama for 3 years, $52 million, and then Cam Spencer gets a guaranteed contract, so he upgrades from his two-way contract. He signs for 2 years, 4.5 million. Um, so I'll just get Cam Spencer out the way first. Um, I like the deal. It's very, very, very cheap. Doesn't really affect anybody. It means that Cam will possibly have a chance to get minutes this year. It's just a matter of how the roster looks and where they see he fits in East system. Um, Obviously, we know Cam Spencer has the ability to come off the bench and be a spark plug in regards of defense or 3-point shooting. I mean, I'm talking about a guy when he was at UConn, you heard Cam Spencer's name. He wasn't the flashiest, but you heard Cam Spencer's name every game. So I like the idea of bringing Cam Spencer along full time. He brings great energy. He brings that Memphis energy. So I'm a big fan of it. When it comes to Santi, I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised. Mostly because there were rumors of signing trades happening with Santi. Obviously, the Pistons or other teams of that nature. It just, like I said, I'm not mad at the signing. I'm not mad at it. I just thought that for the Grizzlies to get rid of Santi, yes, you lose the scoring aspect, but at the end of the day, I think you do make up for it in regards to someone else like a Cam Johnson or a or just other players. So I think that it was a possibility to upgrade, but I think they looked at matters and what they were working with, and plus, not to mention, Kleiman GM Zach Kleiman did say that his two main priorities was to re-sign Jaren and then re-sign Santi. So maybe this was the plan all along. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. I just hope that we can look at Santi and assess his game and help him improve in the aspects that I was very skeptical about, like the defense. If as long as we get that, I have no problem with Santi. I mean, his shot selection is a little questionable sometimes. I mean, I know he's almost 7 foot tall, so the ability to shoot over people is possible, but at the same time, that doesn't mean it's the best shot. So, like I said, as long as they can help Santi take that extra leap, I'm all for the move. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I really got no complaints. These were things that were a little expected, but kind of wasn't expected. So the first day is always the day where teams try to figure things out, especially with the qualifying offense like that. But we did get some activity. I mean, obviously, I mentioned Cam Johnson. He got traded to the Nuggets, and yeah, I believe it was Cam Johnson. I can't remember. Oh yeah, Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr. So basically a swap right there. And then Nikhil Alexander Walker signs with the Hawks. I got to be honest, the Hawks one, kind of hurt a bit, but seeing the contract that they got him for, I believe it was either 3-4 years for 62 million or something like that. So seeing the contract that they got Nikhil Alexander Walker for, they can have him. I'm be honest, I don't think the Grizzlies would have been able to pay that money. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to pay that money and then you know still get the needs in like a backup center. So I'm not too mad at that. The Cam Johnson one though, I was a little frustrated by that because Denver essentially gave up Michael Porter Jr. in a second round pick, which really really frustrates me because it's like the Grizzlies had a better offer. They had a better offer. That goes without saying. The Grizzlies had a better offer. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. Sean Marks, he does not like trading with Zach Kleiman. I don't know what it is, but they do not like each other because we have presented some great offers to the Nets over the course of years, and they've all been shut down. So Sean Marks maybe he just doesn't like Memphis because it doesn't make any sense to me. But shout out to them. They got Michael Porter Jr. return, and Cam Johnson will be in Denver, which only adds some more tougher task on the Grizzlies if we play Denver. So, yeah. Um, In other news, schedule finally released. So basically, how it works is they'll be competing in Utah. July 5th, the Grizzlies play OKC. Then July 7th, they'll play the Utah Jazz. And then July 8th, they'll play the Philadelphia 76ers. And then July 11th, they'll be in Vegas where they play the Boston Celtics. Then the next day, July 12th, they'll play the Portland Trailblazers. July 15th, they'll play the Golden State Warriors. And then July 17th, they'll play the Atlanta Hawks. So, yeah, that's the Summer League schedule. And an important thing to note is Tuamas Islo is expected to coach the team. So he'll get some experience with some of the guys that are expected to play in the main roster and overall just get a feel for how it is coaching in the NBA. I know it's not the highest level, but at the same time, it's still good. Understand the system early. I like what the Grizzlies are doing to try to get him in the system, understand his system as much as possible. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I really am all for it. I like to see it, and I hope I can see good things because if it's anything like some of the last year, we got a lot to look forward to. We got a lot of young guys that have a great potential. So I fully expect to see guys like Cam Spencer, Cedric Coward, Jalen Small, Meshack. I expect to see all those guys playing, and even then, the Grizzlies um, have made signings to the extra roster. So it's all about making things happen and making sure Islo is comfortable with some of the players. I mean, some of the players come from overseas, some of the players coming from colleges, but the summer league team for the Grizzlies is going to be pretty good, and I can't wait to see what the young guys can bring. Before we get out of here, I do want to say, um, when it comes to the centers, I don't know exactly who the Grizzlies can go for because the market is kind of fluctuating right now. I mean, Clint Capella just signed back to the Houston Rockets. That should tell you everything. Um, but it's only like two real names that I feel like the Grizzlies can target in free agency, not trades. But I mean, I think trying to see if you can get Gary Payton on a good contract. I feel like that's a possibility. GP2 would be a good player to have, a great defender for his size. It's not too many defenders that the Grizzlies can say they have at the guard position. So if you can get a guy like GP2, I wouldn't be mad at that. And like I said, just make sure you get that center figured out because I don't think anybody would necessarily be comfortable with Brandon Clark being the starting center come opening night. So hopefully they figure it out. Really hope they figure it out. But we are in day 2 of free agency, and that is a wrap for this video. So if you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications because we will be posting all throughout free agency, bring you guys the latest news through this all season. Anything Grizzlies related, we're bringing it to you right here. So turn on post notifications. Make sure to share this video, and make sure to leave a comment on what you think about day 1. How do you feel about Ty Jerome? What do you think the Grizzlies could have did better, and what do you think they can do better going in further into free agency? So make sure to let me know all those things, and I'll make sure to read them, and we'll make sure to talk about them. So yeah, that's a wrap for this edition of Grizzlies Daily. I'm your host Melek, and I'll be signing off day 2.